It looks impressive when we have the DEA and the ATF and the FBI down at the border having a big press conference with stacks and stacks of drugs and weapons and millions of dollars, and you're thinking, wow, this thing is over. Until you realize this is like an hour's worth of work by the cartels. This is nothing. If we have a drug problem in this country, it's not because we have too many drugs, it's because we have too many people who want to take drugs.
I did crystal methamphetamines for many, many years. I just thought that I'm just a terrible person that, you know, was a piece of crap who did drugs and then got off of them and did them again. I did not realize that there is tons of people like that out there and that we all suffer from the same sickness. This place has given me the tools and the knowledge to understand myself and understand how to fight this addiction. If I wouldn't have gotten help, I would have continued to probably do it.
Actually, this is when I was getting my wisdom teeth taken out. Like, they prescribed me hydrocodone, you know, to get over the pain, and I got hooked on that, and then it became harder to get the pills and the heroin, so I switched over to that. There's a lot of dealers, I mean, all over the place.
I think we have been overprescribing pain medication for a long time. Is it the pharmaceuticals companies' fault because they're supplying these drugs? Well, I think it's probably a problem of not having access to appropriate treatment once you get into trouble with those drugs.
Last year, we treated 433 people in our treatment programs. The majority of those, 90% of those, were indigent. And we ran out of funding. There's only so many dollars at the state level to go around. So we need to be here for them when they're ready. We can put them in detox, get them safely off that substance, and then transition them immediately into a treatment program. We should have the resources available right away to save someone's life. And that's really what we're talking about, is addiction is such that folks are either going to wind up in prison or they're going to wind up dead.
Drug offenders provide somewhere between 25 and 30% of the folks that we've locked up over the years. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of drug offenders have fueled the incarceration boom. We've criminalized drug possession and drug use. So that gets them into the door. What keeps them coming back is that we don't change anything. Not taking drugs while you're incarcerated is not the same thing as drug treatment.
I started prostituting and doing drugs when I was about 12 years old. I was on the streets or in CPS custody. And this continued till I was 17 and I aged out of foster care. And I was homeless, on the streets, prostituting, and doing drugs, in and out of the criminal justice system. Then a miracle happened. My lawyer, he said, well, do you want help? And I was like, yes, I want help. And he said, well, I'm gonna try to get you in the Star Drug Court. It was a amazing experience. I was introduced to recovery. They gave me something that nobody had ever given me, which was hope that, there was a different way to live.
Drug diversion courts are a terrific idea. The evidence indicates that they reduce drug use, they reduce relapse, they reduce recidivism. The problem is that the capacity is extraordinarily limited. Just a rough estimate, the capacity of the drug courts in this country today compared to the actual need is about 10%. None of the drug courts is large enough to realize any type of impact on crime or recidivism in that community.
Illegal drugs are a significant concern and problem in the United States, and It's no secret that a lot of those things do come through our southern border. There might be some criminal justice, how we handle it in the criminal justice system, treatment and restoration of the individual rather than locking them up, for instance. I think it's smart policy, making that person a whole person versus throwing them in jail and locking away for many years. I think we need to find the money to properly fund substance abuse at the level it probably does need to be funded.
We have in this country an insatiable demand for drugs. And where there is an insatiable demand, there is tremendous amounts of money to be made. If we can begin to reduce demand in this country, then supply will not be that much of an issue. You can't even come close to beginning to turn off the spigot. Let's quit pretending we are.